Hey, family. Imagine me, yeah. Oh. Hello, everybody. Oh, na, 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 na. Oh, na, 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 na. Oh, na, 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 na. Oh, na, 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 na. Hey, guys, when you come in, hit the like button, hit the share button, tag somebody on tonight. It's going to be a great night, man. Come on, while you coming. Come on, come on. Why you coming? Why you coming with date night with Pastor J and Lady V? Come on now, let's come on in. It's gonna be a wonderful night. Oh, oh, yeah. Come on in, it's gonna be a wonderful night, yeah. It's gonna be a wonderful night. It's gonna be a wonderful night. It's gonna be a wonderful night. What's up? How you doing? What's good? It's me and Lady V tonight. It's me and Lady V tonight. It's me and Lady V tonight. Oh, it's me and Lady V tonight. Oh, really? I see how you doing, Pop. It's alright. Oh, say it's me and Lady V tonight. Say it's me and Lady V tonight. We getting ready to get started. Hey, when you come on, hit like, hit share. Let us know you're on here, man. We're excited tonight. Oh, man, we're talking about a good subject, and I'm excited tonight. So I hope you are. So come on. Good evening, everyone. Come on in. And as you're coming in, make sure you hit the like and share button. Let us know that you're here. We're excited that you're here. We're getting better at this, y'all. We're on time today. Yay. Right? Hello, Amanda. God bless you. I pray you and your husband are on tonight. Amen. Hey, Pop, if you're still on here, man, we saw you feeding them fishes. I ain't gonna clown you though, Doc. I ain't gonna clown you. I saw you feeding them fishes though. I saw you. All right, listen, we're getting ready to get started tonight. We are excited today because we have Lady Sharice Cuthrell on live with us tonight as we're going to talk about mending the broken pieces. And so she's the author of three great books, and she has her bachelor's, so y'all know, it don't mean that other word, because you know some of y'all be thrown off. But she does have a bachelor's in science and psychology. She's a prophetess of God, and she's currently working on her master's.
Amen.
In the same field. And so will you guys help me welcome my other mama that helped me throughout college, Sharice Cuthrell. So we're getting ready to bring her on right now. Let me see. Y'all know that Facebook is always doing something. Thank God for Lady D. So yes, so we're excited tonight for having you all on and everything. Hey.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, baby, she's styling and profiling, got this bling hat on tonight.
You know East Coast time and y'all time is different now.
Yes, Lord. Yes,
You're
Lord.
keeping me up. Now you're keeping me up.
Oh, you know you be up until Jesus comes.
Well, he ain't here yet, so I'm going to bed tonight.
So I'm gonna let my wife kind of take on from here and kind of talk, and then I'll come back in and say some stuff. So
tonight we are actually talking about broken pieces. And in regards to broken pieces, we're talking about broken pieces and what do you do in the midst of your brokenness, and also what do you do to mend those pieces back together, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's ministry, whether it's career wise. What do you do to mend those pieces back together? So we do know that you have a book. The book is called Broken Pieces. Is that correct?
No. So we got
What is
3
your book
books.
called?
We got What's Got You Bent,
Yes.
What to Do in the Meantime, and Never Too Far Gone.
Never Too Far Gone. Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
So we have a great person tonight, I promise you. But let me first make this claim that everyone has had some type of disappointment in their life. So let me make that claim real quickly. And but learning how to bounce back, I believe, is one of the hardest things when you are in a system, or when you've been in a place that you thought was good. And so tonight we're going to talk about how to bounce back from that hardest point, that breaking point, that thing that really made you say, you know what, I can't take this no more. I can't deal with this. I can't even see myself going forward. And so we're going to talk about those things tonight. And so tonight we're going to look at 4 different subjects: reviving from a bitter place, how to love again, when will healing take place after a hard fall, and I could never do this again. Now, I can never do this again is one of those things that people always say when they've been hurt. Oh, I'll never do this again. So we want to talk about those 4 things tonight. And so hopefully, listen, go tag, share somebody, tag and share with someone. Tag them on in and tell them, listen, girl, you need to be in here tonight. Man, you need to be in here. Husband, wife, you need to be in here. You need to do this thing tonight. It's going to bless you. So the first thing we want to talk about, prophetess, is reviving from a bitter place. How is it bouncing back from, first of all, that hard place, that place that just got you to the point where you said, I can't do this? Talk to us about that.
Well, first of all, you don't bounce back. Okay. Bouncing back is false. You ease your way back. You take your time. You find out how did I even wreck? Did I wreck because my brakes went out? Did I wreck because I overcorrected in some areas? Why did I crash in the first place? What did I miss? Did I miss a stop sign? Did I run a red light? First of all, let's identify how we got to where we are. That's the first thing you do. But a lot of people don't take the time to do that. They just say, oh, well, you know what? This happened. I'm moving on. No, you don't need to move on. You need to stop, take an assessment of your own self, not who hurt you or who did anything, because all brokenness starts with an expectation.
But sometimes though, especially in relationship, it's hard for us to sometimes regain because my wife hurt me. I mean, I couldn't trust another woman. These are all the things that we say.
But can I stop you right there?
She didn't hurt
you. She didn't hurt you. Your expectation hurt you.
So talk about that expectation.
When you put an expectation on a person, you're putting a demand on a person to fulfill something in your life that you don't want to do yourself. If you can't do it yourself, you look outside of yourself for someone to do that for you. And that is something that we all have done, and we all have crashed and burned from doing that. So when you just release the expectation of it from the person, I don't expect anything from you. I'm not with you because I'm looking for something to come out of this for me. I'm with you because I feel like I have something that I can add to you. I'm not looking to take from you. I'm with you because I have something I think I can add. And so when you look more at adding to a person than taking from a person, your expectations begin to shift. Because what you realize is that I embody God. And when I embody God, I embody grace. And so when you know that grace is the root and the foundation of who you are, then it's not hard to bounce back, because it's not hard to forgive. Because when you operate in grace, grace says, hey, that hurt, I'm not gonna lie, act like that didn't hurt. But I've done some things that have hurt people before too. And grace was at work in my life. You know, I've said some things too, and grace was at work in my life. When you operate in grace, it's not hard to ease back into this thing. It's not hard to bounce back. I might have to say, you know what, by grace I forgive you, but we not good together. You understand? So we're not gonna come back together. But what we're not gonna do either is fall completely apart. I'm gonna bid you a fond farewell. Hashtag that. I'll bid you a fond farewell.
But sometimes, I mean, even with that fond, that farewell, there still feels like a connection, because sometimes people feel like I can't disconnect because I'm so connected. I'm deeply connected. You know what I mean?
Deeply invested. That's the problem. You have invested and you looking for a return on your investment. You didn't do it because you, out of love. You didn't do it because you think this is just the right thing to do. You did it because you thought you was going to get something out of it. And a lot of people say, listen, I ain't breaking up with her because I done been with her for 10 years, but it's been a bad 10 years. You trying to get something out of those 10 years. You're looking for your investment. At this point, you're just looking for your investment. You're not even looking for that person anymore. Because if you could go away from that person and keep what you invested at the same time, you would have left in a heartbeat.
So how can I tell if it's real love though? Because see, sometimes people say, "Oh, I love them," but then you don't really love them because, like you said, you'll leave with your investment. So how does that work?
How do I know if I really love you? I should really love you regardless. Now, I have to identify what kind of love am I supposed to be operating in when I meet you. This is where a lot of people go wrong because they immediately meet somebody and think, oh, this is going to be romantic, when that's not the purpose and the plan that God has allowed you to meet this person for. You're supposed to be this person's brother. You're supposed to be this person's sister, this person's friend, this person's confidant, this person's mentor. But because they look good and they look like what you done put in your mind that you want, you try to start making it be something that it was never purposed to be in the first place. And now when it don't work out that way, you bent. I ain't gonna sell my book, but you know what I'm saying. Now you got issues with that person, and you got so much to say about that person. And even even if it was marriage, even if it resulted in marriage, or if it resulted in children. And my God, I just put on Facebook tonight. Don't allow hurt to raise your children. You mess around here and get hurt by this person. Now that they're gone, you want to talk all kinds of stuff about this person to the child. The child wasn't. The child came out of the good part of that. Okay, you saw some good. You saw enough good. Okay, so don't do that. But this is what it's age old. It's not new. It's not, and I'm not beating anybody up about it or whatever. I'm just trying to bring a flashlight and shine it on it so you can see it and address it and move on from it. Because that's what healing is all about. Is seeing it, addressing it, and then moving on from it. And sometimes you don't move on from it, you just move on with it.
So how do you deal with a broken place? Because sometimes many of us are in a broken place because of the ex relationship. It's not the current relationship. But now since I have children with my ex baby mama, I got a broken relationship, and sometimes residue can build up. Okay, for instance, if me and my wife, we were in a situation and she had an ex, and I did something that reminded her of him, but it brings that flashback. How? Because that's a bitter place. When you haven't came out of that bitterness, and now you got baby mama drama, now you got baby daddy drama, you got all of these things, and it never relieves you. And then as soon as you see a glimpse of it, it causes drama in the house. It causes, you're rage. And I've even found that to happen in ministry, that we can't even get together because we got something that looks familiar in the church, and we have called it the church's fault, but it wasn't never the church fault. It was an individual fault. And how do you bounce back from that?
Okay, bounce, because you said a lot, so I need
I
to know
mean,
what.
but reviving from a bitter place. I'm sorry.
Reviving from a bitter place. The first thing that you need to do, the first thing you need to do is get a divorce. When I say get a divorce, you might be a single person, ain't never been married. Get a divorce. Before you go to the next church, get a divorce. You have to divorce that whole situation, that whole relationship, that whole past. And then you have to take a time. Now, this is not what God has done with everybody. I'm just going to tell you what God did with me. When I decided that I no longer wanted to be in my marriage, I'm not going to tell all my business, because there's a difference between telling your testimony and telling your business. But when I made the decision that I know this was no longer effective for me, this was not a good thing for me, this was not even the purpose and the design, this is something that I allowed myself to get into, and this is something that now I have to figure my way out of. When I asked God, could I divorce? Yes, I did. I asked God for permission. I had every biblical reason that I could divorce, but I still asked him. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't feel entitled. Oh, well, since you said in this right here, I can just go do this. No, I asked for permission to get a divorce. And God said to me, yes, you may, but after I tell you, you can. And so I waited and I waited, and I didn't understand what was going on when he was doing that with me. But then later on, I realized I was so broken. I was so hurt, and I was so
Wow.
mad, and I was blaming all of my brokenness and all of my hurt on this man and everything he did to me. But you know what? I was broken and I was hurt when I met him. And I had an expectation for him to mend me, for him to give me the kind of life that was going to take all that hurt and that pain away. So what I was trying to do was blot out my past instead of allowing God to heal me in my present.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what you have to do. Before you move on, I don't care what the situation is. I don't care if it's church or whatever. Allow God to detox you. You have to go through a detox. And before I could divorce, and this took 4 years, I was constantly asking God, why can't I get a divorce? Lord, I'm ready to move on. I had met somebody else. I was, hey, this is good, whatever. He kept telling me no, because there was parts of me that was not healed enough to move on. And so it wasn't until I was healed and I was whole, because there's a difference between being healed and being whole. Come on, somebody. And so when I got to the place where I was whole again, then he said, you can divorce now. And when he told me, man, he made the way so easy. He made it so easy. Well, by then I had made up my mind that, okay, one day I will love again, but I can't love nobody else until I first start with me. And that's so easy to say, and that's so easy to do. It's such a cliche, I gotta love me first, and that's what, but it's so hard, because you can't love what you don't know.
But let me ask you this. How do you know? Because sometimes we fall in love quickly because we are empty, or we feel like we're empty. And so we will fall in love with someone before we even investigate or even know that we didn't even love ourselves or even get to know ourselves. So how does that work? Because sometimes you're so vulnerable. I mean, you've been with somebody.
You don't fall in love with the person. You fall in love with the potential that the person can bring to your life.
Say that one more time.
I said you fall in love with the potential that the person can bring to your life. If you've been broke all your life and he's driving a nice whip and got a nice outfit on and smell good, and his family come from a nice and all this, and you ain't never had that, you fall in love with the idea of seeing yourself in that. And so you came in wrong from the get-go. So when you start wrong, you can't get mad when it ends wrong. Your motives were not pure. You thought they were. You didn't think that what's wrong with wanting something that's got nice stuff and this, that, and that? Well, what's wrong with wanting it for yourself? What's wrong with getting it for yourself? You understand? So you need to maximize before you get into any kind of relationship. You need to maximize your singleness, maximize your whole self. Do everything that you can possibly do single until you come to a point where you done hit a brick wall and say, I can't go no further like this. I have to have a mate to go to this next place. But maximize. That's the name of the book, because you keep cutting off part of my book name. You keep talking about it, but the name of the book is Don't Hate the Wait. What to do in the meantime. Don't hate a lot. It's especially in the I'll just say the charismatic church. We love to say, oh, your Boaz is coming. Well, what if God don't have no Boaz for me? What if God got a Joseph for me? What if God got a David for me? Quit catching on to every little thing because Boaz is old. I might not want no old man, what if I got a Joseph? I don't want no thug. And then, well, what if he done been in the jail? Well, what if he done been in the jail? But you overlooking him and his greatness, who he is now because of where he was then. And it's easy to do because you have not worked on yourself. Learn to love yourself. Learn to get to know you. What do you like to do? Where do you like to go? Who do you like to hang out with? What kind of music do you like? What smell good to you? I go to Dillard's all the time and I loves me some perfume and I shop perfume. Well, guess what? I go over to the cologne counter too. Because when he do get here, I already know, like, y'all don't want to talk to me. See, this is all called preparation. I don't want to talk too much. You go ahead and ask your question because I've been drinking tea, so I'm all
You good. We don't have cookout here in Texas. We don't have that.
Oh, bless it. Oh, bless it. That is right. Y'all don't have Bojangles either, do you?
Lord, no.
Oh, bless it.
So why is it though that people get really hooked on this? I can never do this again. So I'm in a relationship now, and I say, and I say this all the time. I'm not gonna lie. I could never, if she decided to leave me, I could never do this again. This too much. No, y'all, for my newlyweds, y'all, my people that want to decide, when you get one, you don't want 2, 3, or 4, or 5, or 6. You don't want that background. I'm not knocking anybody who has that background. I don't want it.
We don't want that background either, but that's our lot.
Yeah. I mean, don't nobody really want it, but at the same time, how do you overcome that phrase that I could never do this again? I mean, why never say never?
Well, it depends on what got you there, because what you're saying might be prophetic. You probably don't need to never do it again, because the way that you began it is what got you to the end. You saw red flags and stop signs, and you heard horns and whistles and everything, and you chose to ignore some stuff. So again, we're going back to those expectations. You're saying, I can never do this again, but when you shift your expectation and when you begin to allow God to perfect you and allow God to heal you, then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, I'm ready to do this again, because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But it's not until you get to a place called healed that you begin to make those declarations. When you begin to decree and declare that, you know what, I realized that who I was when who I have become and who I am destined to be. One of my exes could walk up to me now and be like, you know what, I'm so mad at you, I can't stand you, and and I can easily tell them, you know what, who I am now, that's not even the same person. I know who you was mad at, because I was mad at her too. Understand that. And that's why I allow her to get into some situations and some circumstances and do some things and to ignore some things and allow some things to happen to her because she was looking for a way of escape and she thought you was going to be her escape when what she really needed was some exit strategies. You gotta have, when you in a hard place, when you in a low place, when you in a broken place, instead of sitting there and nursing your wounds, you need to start planning. Hey, I need some exit strategies. How can I get out of this? If I'm in a financial bind, what do I need to do to start preparing to perfect my credit? Is it my spending that's the problem? Or is it that I got more outcome than I got income? What do I need to do to get to at least to a place called balance? Because God wants to get you to a place called balance long before he'll get you to the place called surplus. He can't trust you with surplus. And when I say surplus, I'm not just talking about money. There's a man for some woman right now who has a surplus of love, but she's so depleted. She's so deficient right now that he can't release that man to her because she will drain that man and have that man walking around with the same guy. So he has to get her to a place where she's at least balanced and knows how to balance the love that she's looking for and she's searching for. But when she gets to know herself, when he gets to know himself, he'll realize what I was looking for is not what was looking for me. What was looking for me was surplus. And I was looking for just enough. I was looking for a man that was just enough. I was looking for a woman that was just enough. But this man who was surplus was looking for me. And so we hanging out in two different places because surplus don't hang out where lack is. Come on, talk to me.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna just pause right there and let you go ahead and talk because I done got happy again. But you have to understand. You got to understand that in order to get what you really want, and the problem is that God is so awesome that sometimes we don't think we deserve it, or we think this is a figment of my imagination. There is no way in the world that somebody like that is out there for me. Well, you know what? I'd rather sit and wait and find out than to sell myself short and just accept anything.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the original question was now. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, you have.
Okay.
So when it pertains down to marriage, okay?
Okay.
And because a lot of people don't realize you can still be married and have broken pieces, okay? And so in your book, Never Too Far Gone, you kind of mend these broken pieces together. You really do. Because a lot of times with broken pieces, we give up too easily. We throw in the towel. My first year in marriage, I don't think I walked out the door. Did I walk out the door? No. Second year of marriage, did I walk out the door? Third year of marriage, did I walk out the door? And so too many times we walk out too quickly. And I believe the number one reason is because we don't have any accountability. And then the people that we try to make accountability is family, and they too busy in our business. Can I help somebody? And so how do we deal with these broken pieces? Because like I say, in marriage especially, we want to just throw in the towel, especially young marriages. As soon as it gets hard, we ready to quit. But you said it, exactly. You could not throw in the towel immediately. It was something there that was like, I don't know if I can just let this go. What do you say to those people who are just like, you know what, we argue all the time, but now they're arguing over petty stuff. The sky blue, no, the sky gray, and so now it comes an argument, and like with my wife, I mean, she's not argumentative. Say what?
Good. And that's good because you're the argumentative one. You need that. That brings balance.
Yeah.
Because he's just gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna just hush, and he gonna have to go somewhere and calm down with all of that. But see, and that's the job. The job's wife is to become Sabbath for the man. Sabbath is rest. Sabbath is peace. So when you deal with chaos all day long, you don't want to come home to chaos. You want to come home to Sabbath. You want to come home to rest. You want to come home to peace. You want to come home to maybe not a quiet place because you got kids and they're running and all this other stuff. But all that, a lot of people may say that's chaos, but when you don't work hard and you come in the door and the kids is laughing and playing and they're joyful, that's a peaceful sound. So excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Okay. Now I'm gonna let my psychology speak for just a second because this is what I like. One of my favorite arts and psychology is called negotiated principle. And what negotiated principle tells you is that instead of compromising, try to get to a win-win. And a lot of times in marriage, we feel like, oh, I got to compromise, which means I got to sacrifice something. And then you walk around with a chip on your shoulder because you done gave up something in the sacrifice in order to compromise, when what you should have done was operated in the win-win. Now, okay, here's an example. Both of you are looking at the same orange sitting on the table. She says, I want the orange. You say you want the orange. Now y'all arguing, going crazy against each other over an orange. But, so finally, what do you say? Okay, well, what we're going to do? What's your solution? What's your solution for the orange? What do you say?
You get
Most
half,
people say,
I
cut
get half.
the orange in half. That's called compromise. But the win-win is saying, hold up, baby, why you want the orange? Because I need the orange peel to make your favorite cake. Why you want the orange? I wanted to eat the orange because my sugar a little bit low and I got to get my sugar up. So when you stop and start to communicate, come on, you start communicating and finding out why the orange means what it means to each other. Now you get the win-win. She peels the orange, she takes the whole orange peel, and you get the whole orange, and everybody's happy. Communicate. You know what I'm saying? Communicate. Find out, why is she holding her position so strong? Why is he holding his position so strong? Is this something that I just learned? Because a lot of times women, I'm going to talk about women because I'm a woman and that's what I know about. I don't know about no man because I ain't never been no man and I don't intend to be one. But I'm going to talk about women. What women have a tendency to do. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go a little further, and no disrespect to any any ethnicity or whatever, but I'm a black woman, and black women we are taught to be strong, and we're taught to not take no stuff from nobody and not take nothing off no man, and this, that, and that, and the third, and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is you can be so strong that you become wrong. You can be so strong that you cripple your own self.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, women is the weaker vessel. That don't mean that you weak. Weaker don't mean that you weak. You know what I'm saying? The same
Yes.
tea that's in this cup is in somebody else's cup. Well, they like theirs with a little bit more water because they don't like it as sweet, but it's the same strength in the tea bag. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand that, so this is a cultural thing that you're fighting against. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand, oh, her mama is like that. Her grandma is like that. Her great grandma is like that. And this is the kind of stuff that you're supposed to be looking at in the dating phase. But you overlook that. Now what you're doing is arguing with what you overlooked.
Wow.
That's what most marriages is filled that's argumentative like that. They're arguing with stuff that they overlooked because they had a different expectation. When you came in, I was all lovey-dovey, and I didn't look at all that with you because I saw other stuff. I saw your nice car. I saw you a man of God. You a pastor. You a prophet. You an apostle. And I've always seen myself as a first lady, and all this stuff. So you had mission first lady on your mind. Now that you got the goal, Now that you the first lady, now you want to be mad because he down at the church. Now you want to be mad because some people is calling the house. Well, baby, when you took on the role of the pastor's wife, that
Come
came
on
with
here.
that came with it. So you didn't just marry that man, you married his life. You didn't just marry
Yes.
that woman, you married her life. And so what you basically doing is when you're saying stop doing this, you're taking a knife and jabbing at the heart of what keeps that person alive. Why are you killing your spouse? You know what I'm saying? So, and then when you knew you married this woman being quiet, you knew she was quiet when you met her. Quit trying to make her talk now. Why are you trying to make her talk now? You knew she was quiet. You knew she was observant. Most people that are quiet, observant, you don't want them to speak all the time because, baby, when they finally do speak, you can take it to the bank because they have sat and they have watched and watched and watched, and now they're telling you what they saw, and you so busy trying to hustle and bustle and do all this other stuff. Now you want to argue with her because, well, you don't even be around. There's a reason for all that. There's a reason for all that. But you have to know all this stuff going in. You have to know that if you have a big heart for people, you know that you just love people and you know you fall in love easily. That's something that you need to always be aware of when you meet somebody. There's a lot of pastors who wives are unhappy because they feel like the women at the church is wanting their husband. And they probably are. They probably are. And they feel like, oh, I'm going to lose my husband to one of these women or whatever. You know, cut all that foolishness out. Cut all that out. Cut all that out. Who is she to talk about marriage? She ain't married. I have been. And let me just make a disclaimer for those of y'all that have a problem with me talking about marriage. Well, her marriage didn't work. So who is she? Listen, let me make this clear. Just because my marriage failed don't mean that I did. Okay? I did my part. I did my part. Now, what I'm saying is that, you know, and I think I talked about this with you, and I do want to bring this point out because I want people in leadership roles, whether you're a CEO on your job, or you're a pastor, or you're a nurse, or a doctor, or whatever. Falling in line that you are giving care to is so easy to do. It's so easy to do because what you see is that wound, and you start working on that hurt, and you start working on that wound, and you start wanting to see that person healed, you know, and before you know it, you starting to develop feelings for this person. You have to stop yourself. This is why you have to always be prayed up. You have to always be consecrated, and you have to always know yourself. And when your self is kicking in, you need to start walking out. You need to say, excuse me for a moment, but I have to go, you know, I'll be back tomorrow to see you because, you know, act like we don't get attracted to people. Let's not act like that. Let's not be fools about it, okay? Let's not act like that's not attracted to you. And a lot of people have what is called the Nightingale syndrome, where they fall in love with the caregiver. Because they ain't never had nobody. Why these people always fall in love with the pastor? Because the pastor is the caregiver. They fall in love with that man because their daddy was never in their life. They was always mistreated by men. And then here pastor is showing me love and I've never experienced love and care. So I don't know how to separate fatherly love from just love, period. A lot of people don't know how to compartmentalize love. And so they fall in love easily. Back to your first question, you fall in love easily because you don't know how to compartmentalize your love. You don't know if this is agape love, if this is philia, or if this is eros. You just all out about I ain't never felt love before. And so love feel good. And this is the one that's loving me. So maybe he feeling something for me or whatever. And then when you find out that that's not what pastor was doing, now you want to holler church hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Now you want to holler, I've been hurt at the church because, I thought that the pastor loved me and this and that and the third. And then, no, you started to develop a false expectation from the man of God. You started to develop a false expectation of the woman of God. That's what you did. So again, it all comes back to me. What did I do? How was I a participant in my brokenness? I'm a vessel, but I knew those hands was greasy before I allowed them to pick me up. I knew that I was
Yes.
too big to hold me before I allowed it to pick me up. What did I do? How did you talk? I stepped in a trap, okay, but how did I even maneuver my foot to the trap in the first place? What was I walking through? What was I overlooking? So it goes back to taking that self-assessment. If you ever want to be healed, if you ever want your pieces mended again, you have to start with self. You have to make a conscious decision. Now this is where about 12 people probably gonna log off right here because they just want to hear about love and getting over it. No, no, no. You have to make a conscious decision that I am no good for anybody right now. Until God me whole, I am no good for anybody. I'm probably going to get myself in some trouble, and I'm probably going to take you with me. You know, I'm probably going to attach to the wrong kind of people. I'm going to start going to this church because, well, they shout over there, and I like to feel the spirit, but you ain't getting no word. Then you go over to a word church, and you like the word, but you ain't getting no spirit. So before you know it, you out here going from place to place to place to place. Why? Because you just didn't stop and start within yourself. God, who am I? That's your first question. God, who am I? Tell me who I am. What did you put me here for? Because I'm here for a reason. Doggone it, I've been here for years. I have to be here for a reason. Who am I? And what do you want me to do? And then you have to ask a question, and this is like to ask because we really don't want to hear the answer. Am I supposed to be married to somebody? Am I supposed to be looking for a spouse? Or am I called to be single? Am I called to be like Paul? Am I called to walk this thing out as a single? Because if I'm called, I want to be the best one ever. I want to fulfill my purpose. I want to do everything that I am called to do. And see, God knows, he knew before you came here that you had this spiritual ADHD. He knew that a lot of people can't balance spirituality with their naturality. A lot of people can't do that. So a lot of people, you'll stop going to church, you'll stop showing up, you'll start, he said he wanna do Netflix and chill today. Like, why you gotta always go over there to the church? You got enough of church in you to last you for a lifetime and all this other stuff. And so before you know, well, let's just take a road trip Sunday morning instead of going to church. You ain't got to be at church all the time. You know it. And this person, you're making this person an angel to your own personal God.
That even happens even marriage. Sometimes being from that broken place, you cause your mate to deteriorate. You like, but I don't know, and one thing I can say is if you have if your husband or your wife was in church faithfully when they met you and they dropped out of church after they met you, you need to reevaluate. I'm not trying to be funny. You need to reevaluate because somewhere in there, something ain't right. I mean, when my wife married me, she married the church. I'm not trying to be funny. She married me. Y'all hear me? I said that first. She married me. But I had a lot of stuff that came with me. And she, she better now. But at first, she probably wanted to beat some people up. I'm not trying to be funny. But And then, and let me tell you about women. Can I talk about y'all 5 seconds? Women,
No.
when they know you ain't gonna talk up, they'll try to run over. So sometimes always being quiet is not a good thing. Sometimes you just gonna have to speak up a little bit or let your presence be known. I can't say that because my wife has gotten a lot better.
Absolutely.
Praise the Lord. Thank you. Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
because you just can't open. A lot of times we leave too many doors open, and I mean they be wide open. They be wide open to the point that it hurts the family, it hurts the church, it hurts everything because we left too many doors open when they shouldn't have never been open in the first place.
That's true.
What
But
you think?
sometimes, and I'm not trying to defend her, but sometimes she might just be relying on you. You know what I'm saying? She
Is you
might be
relying on me?
relying on you to keep her present when she's not present. She might be saying that's something you should be doing. They ought to know more about me. You ought to be talking more about your wife than anything. So that it shouldn't be no question when you're around a single or any kind of woman. There should be no question that you have a wife, and there should be no question that you absolutely love and adore your wife. There should be no question that she ain't just the first lady; she the only lady. It should be no question. And that keeps that door closed. But for those that like to pry at the hinges, yeah, girl, you got to show up sometime. You got to show up sometime and show up
But
looking real good.
I'm gonna say it's a difference between showing your presence in newer people. When I first married him, of course he had certain people he would talk to. They was like, we love the pastor. Single women, oh, we love the pastor. We can go and we can talk to pastor. It's fine. Before we got together. So I mean, after we got together, okay, it's a fight because now he has a wife. His wife has to be added in some of these things, and not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fight. Sometimes it was his responsibility to say, okay, I have a mate now. I have somebody who's gonna be stuck to me, So you have to respect that. You have to understand that, and you have to know that. So not all the time it's like it's my responsibility to make my presence known. It's his responsibility as well.
And
because if I'm not there, they should know who I am before I get there.
And let me tell you, I had to learn that.
Absolutely.
I got to throw that out there. I had to learn that. That's not something tonight. If you just not getting it, it's okay. I had to learn that. That's not something that was just handed to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because oftentimes people feel that she's bombarding or she's being overprotective or she must think that I want the pastor. It's not that. I'm just stating who I am, and I'm his wife first. Before I'm first lady, I'm his wife.
Get that head shake. Get that head
shake. Now.
You gotta know that, before I'm first lady, I'm his wife first of all. So you have to know that before you know that, okay, I'm first lady as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Come back with something.
Okay, it goes back to what I said. No, it goes back to what I was saying. When he makes your presence known, even in your absence, when you show up, the only thing they ought to be able to look at you and say is, oh, that's her. Oh, that's first lady. Oh, that's the wife. I've heard so much about you. I know, I feel like I already know you. Now when it comes to counseling and things like that, well, you're right. You need to be added to the equation. You don't ever counsel by yourself. Not no young man. No. Even when you wasn't married, you probably should have had a witness or somebody with you, so that people are used to somebody being along with you. So it wouldn't have been no hard transition. You know what I'm saying? So, there's some things as a single woman, there's some things that, I just can't do by myself. I'm not going to do it by myself because I already know how folks are. I know how they are, and so there's some places I go that, yeah, I'll take my adjutant with me, but sometimes I'm gonna ask a dude to go with me because I don't feel like all that. I don't want to give my secret away, but a lot of times I preach the ring on this finger because I don't want the foolishness at the church. You know how many places I done preached in where the Lord said I was somebody's wife? You know what I'm saying? Oh, the Lord showed me. Well, God is not a gossiper. He ain't gonna show you and not show me too. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
but there's you know, you do need, you know, and it's not so much make your presence known as it is making your strength known. When you stop, when you shift from going from I'm making my presence known to making my strength known, it means that I'm just adding to the strength that this man has already been bringing you. I'm not here to take anything away. I'm here as an additive. I'm here as an additive. I'm here as a preservative for you so that, you know, you're not, nothing is being removed from you. You're getting more now. You're getting an extra perspective. You're getting peace that he didn't used to. When he was canceling you, he wasn't canceling you with peace because he ain't had me yet. But now
Mm-hmm.
you get the peace of the man. You get the perspective of the man because we're not two anymore. We're one. And so when you get one, you automatically get the other.
Mm-hmm.
You automatically get the other. So I don't know if I answered that question or not, but
So listen, this is what I want y'all to do because our time is almost up. It's almost 11 o'clock our time, so it's almost 10 o'clock our time. But listen, we want you to come back on here next Wednesday night. Prophet Sharice, keep around. Listen, I gotta shoot this out. If you have not, go online, Google this. What's got you bent? What? Give me the whole title.
don't hate the wait. What to do in the meantime?
And never too far gone. You need to go and check out these books. You need to go check them out today. Order them. They will come directly shipped to you. So you do not want to miss those books. Lady V, anything you want to close us out? Tell them anything? I think everything covered. I think I said everything. Prophet Sharice, we thank you for staying up with us tonight, and
Yes,
I hope you guys enjoy date night. Listen, when this video is over, go like and share it. Tell some people, hey man, this is real talk for real people on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Man, we love you all. Thank you all for being on here tonight. Show some love and support. Go to her page, like her on Facebook. And again, we thank you for coming on tonight. Thank you so much, y'all. You guys have a wonderful night, and we'll talk with y'all later.
Good night.
Good night.